All right, first, let me start by reminding everybody the market will be closed Friday. So, this is a holiday week. It's summer trading. Things are slower. Certainly isn't causing market weakness, though, if I put this horizontal line at all time highs for SPY. Might have had too much caffeine this morning. You can see we're breaking out to new all time highs. So, there's definitely stuff to trade. Great teamwork this week or last week, and great teamwork on Friday. Let me throw this up here. I'm going to let that sit for a little bit for new members. And you can always pause the video and read it. So, just keep in mind, we trade in-play stocks, intraday trades only. I never call overnight holds because if I hold something overnight, there'll be an offering and it'll be cut in half. So, anyway, there are proven intraday setups that we look for, but you always want to start with stocks that are in play. And by in play, obviously, I mean recent high relative volume, recent big moves, preferably almost I need it to have recent news, not just some random pump too. So something to think about, right? A couple things I called on Friday were Teladoc shortly after the open at $8.30, and it went pretty quickly to $8.91. It was a great way to start the day. And I also called EYEN over 9, and you see what it did there. It went to what? 12.37. So $3.37 move. Risk was probably 50 cents, but EYN has been very good to us, so I'm definitely going to have it on watch this week. All right, so that one goes on the list. Pony goes on the list just because they had the possible buyout talks or investment by a former Uber CEO. Double check the news. There's so much dancing around in my head as far as news and symbols, but it was something along those lines, and it had the big intraday pop on Thursday. And I would say Friday could just be a quiet inside day, and it might just get going again on Monday. So it goes on watch. Also, ASTI, crazy range on that thing, but I do want to watch it because it's definitely in play. BBAI. After this nice breakout here, you had a pullback day and then right back up to new recent highs. And then oddly on Friday, more volume than the previous few days and a very narrow range. So I don't know what to think about it, but it topped at 598. Maybe a break of 6 this week could start a new leg. So let's keep our eyes on that. ARAI, total sleeper pick. But Kevin P gave it to us on this day, on June 10th, and had a huge move. And now it's kind of forming a little maybe cup and handle. But very, very low volume stock. So that's why I'm just going to call it a sleeper pick. Maybe that one gets some momentum this week. SOND, big volume, fairly strong close. I mean, certainly way off the highs, but we're going to keep that one on watch. VOR had the gap up on Thursday, sold off, and then Friday trying to make a move again. I think that's worthy of being on a chart. HSAI, inside day on Friday after that big rip on Thursday. Certainly worth watching. ENVX could be a one-day pullback and off to the races again. I don't know, but it goes on a chart, and we'll see if we get a setup, right? ONDS, also kind of a sleeper pick. It doesn't move very much on any given day. But you had a really nice move here, and you could kind of picture that it's flagging. Not sure it deserves a spot on the list, but it is getting high relative volume this past month or so. Another sleeper pick is PRCH, which is Porch.com. Had this spike to 1220 back here, and then hit 1209 on Thursday, topped at 1202 on Friday. So it looks like it might just want to start a new leg. VNET, I like that push, could have a follow through for sure. AMIX, also a nice pop, could give us a trade this week. NVCR, nice volume on Friday, and does have some potential chart catalysts above here and here. Again, another kind of a sleeper pick though. QS, pretty interesting. Gapped up on Wednesday, sold off, and then absolute rip short faces off on Thursday, and then Friday, a pullback on lower volume. I'm going to treat it like a bounce play because of the pullback on Friday and see if it gives any kind of long setup on Monday. SGMT goes on bounce watch. Been a very, very strong stock, and now we got 3 days in a row on pretty low volume down into that spot between the 8-day and the 20-day. That's kind of the area we look for things to turn back up. NKTR has been on fire. Now we got a couple red days, so that could give a bounce play on Monday. And then, whoops, let me type that again. VERO, not a pretty chart, but in after hours got a pop, went to 348, and it looks like it went out the after hours session at 325. So it held up pretty well in after hours. So that's probably going to be gapping in the morning, and if it is, we want to watch that one too. And that's it for me. I'll see you guys in the pre-market tomorrow, and we'll add some any morning gap plays that we find in the pre-market to add to this list. All right. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We'll see you in chat.